If you can hear a storm outside, it's appropriate weather for this video we're going to talk about.
Mother Nature has an appropriate reaction to the news that we're going to cover today.
Yeah, so there actually is like a thunderstorm outside, and the skies are crying because official news came today that Vivianne Miedema is officially leaving Arsenal after 7 years.
Yeah, we always say this, but it's the end of an era.
I knew you were going to say that too. But yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to read a quick article. And when I heard the news, I immediately obviously was sad. Since we're us, I immediately thought about Beth, because this has happened to Beth before where her partner leaves the team and it didn't end up well. But this is completely different than that scenario. And I thought about that. And I also thought about what this means for Arsenal. And then I saw people online's reactions, and people are not happy. Specifically, I would say at Jonas and the whole Arsenal organization. But we're going to start with this and have Sara read this, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it.
Wonderful memories. Vivianne Miedema to leave Arsenal in summer. Viv is WSL's all-time leading scorer with 125 goals. Miedema could be joining Manchester City.
Yeah, so that's the rumor. We're going to get to that in a second. But, yeah.
Rumor has it. Arsenal have confirmed that Vivianne Miedema will leave at the end of the season when her contract expires. The forward joined from Bayern Munich in 2017 and has scored 125 goals and provided 50 assists in 172 appearances. Miedema, the Women's Super League's all-time leading scorer, has played 13 times this season after being out from December 2022 to October 2023 because of an anterior cruciate ligament injury. It is understood she may stay in England and join Manchester City for the 2024-25 season. In a farewell video, the Netherlands international said, "After 7 special years, it's time for my Arsenal journey to come to an end. To have represented a club like this with so much history and tradition has been an absolute honor. So above all else, I'd like to say thank you for making this chapter of my life so memorable." In football, you never quite know how long you'll be somewhere. You've got to enjoy each moment as it comes, but early on at Arsenal, I knew that this was the place for me to grow and challenge myself as a player and as a person too. Arsenal sporting director, Edu, said, "We thank Viv for her huge contribution toward the success of the team during her 7 years with us. Viv's goals and overall performances as an Arsenal player have been one of the highest quality, and she has created so many wonderful memories for us over the years. We wish Viv and her family the best of health and happiness for the future."
Yeah, so that is the official word. That is official word. She had a send-off or a farewell video, I guess you would call it, where she spoke about her time. And emotion. I mean, those videos always get me, but it's very emotional, you know, talking about her journey and talking about what the club meant to her. And, you know, she was emotional in the video as well. And knowing what she's been through with her ACL injury, not fully healed yet, had other surgeries after her ACL. So she's been through so much. And, you know, I did read a comment. I don't know if I'll end up reading it here, but, you know, everything she's accomplished, all-time leading scorer, meeting her partner at Arsenal, which is major. So she's been through so much. So a lot of people are really upset. And, you know, first and foremost, just Arsenal fans in general are really bummed because they love Viv. They love, you know, she is the GOAT. You know, she has this, I don't know if that statue, remember the statue they did for her? I don't know if that's an official statue forever and always, or if it was just like a one-time thing for that season. I'm not sure if the statue is still there. And also, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but it's nice that it's announced now so she can have a proper send-off at the end of the season, so she can, you know, everyone could say goodbye, know it's their last game instead of something else. But yeah, sad to say. So that, you know, obviously that's the first thought.
Yeah, it's sad stuff, but I mean, it happens. It's the way the game goes. Mm-hmm. It's soccer, and it ain't always pretty.
But people are not happy, and they're not happy for at least one reason in particular. Well, 2 reasons, but number 1 reason, it doesn't even seem like they offered Viv a contract. Like a lot of times they offer a player a contract, and then that player can decide, am I going to take it or am I not going to take it? Based on the information we have, it seemed like Arsenal didn't even offer her a contract. And I think that surprised a lot of people because she is, like they said, number 1 scoring player in WSL history. It's Vivianne Miedema. And not only did they not offer her a contract, it doesn't come off great that, the support she's gotten while healing, she's injured. She's still not fully recovered. We're not going to offer her a contract. It just seems kind of cold-hearted a little bit.
I mean, it's sports, right?
Yeah. I'm reading this comment here.
Not giving her a 1-year renewal to see how she recovers is crazy, especially they made such a strong dance with the ACL documentary, saying there's no spot for her in the club is wild.
So that person's saying, she's still recovering, not offering her a contract, because last year, if you remember, her contract was ending last year, and then she did a 1-year renewal for Arsenal. We might read a comment about it, but apparently Barcelona wanted her, Lyon wanted her. She had so many options, and she basically said, "No, I'm going to stay at Arsenal. I feel comfortable here. I've been here. I like it. I like my teammates." And so she could have probably made a lot of money going to Barcelona, and she probably could have won a Champions League or something, titles over there. Yeah. At the time, and I still kind of stand by this, I do think possibly her new relationship with Beth had a little bit to do with it. She's never said that. I don't know if they've ever said that. They may have, but because she was just newly in this relationship with Beth, and she knew this was serious, so that could have been part of the reason as well, which is understandable.
Gotta stay for love.
And then another person says, "For me, it's the fact that she didn't have a choice in the matter. And I'm positive if she would have had the choice, she would have been staying." Which I agree, unless the offer was horrible. But maybe they know they can't offer her something that isn't good. Someone says, "She's the highest goal scorer of all time in the league, and she's just 27. Like, letting go on a mutual understanding or a non-agreement in contract is a different thing." And so, but they're saying, but no contract at all? What in the world? And then, so people are unhappy. But some people are pointing out Jonas for being the person who has decided, because I don't know how it works. I don't know if Jonas says it's, yes, we should offer her, or if he's a part of the piece. I don't think he's the complete piece that says yes or no, but maybe he could fight for her if he truly thought that. I think he could maybe fight for her, saying, no, you need to offer her at least something. Because I'm reading this. Viv, thank you. You have achieved so much. Then it goes, at Arsenal, at Jonas, such disappointing decisions that led to let go such a talented player. Sadly, one of the increasing number of poor choices management makes of late. And a lot of people are saying, they don't trust Jonas with the team. The team has gone downhill in a lot of ways. Yeah. And then someone goes, how can Jonas let such a player leave? If Miedema doesn't fit your style, then simply change it. Jonas out. And they're basically saying Viv is bigger than Jonas.
Yeah, you could say that. Definitely.
And another person says, fire average manager, keep one of the best players in the world. I mean, I kind of, unless they know something we don't, unless they know Viv's injury is such where she's dead weight. I don't know. Even if that would be horrible if they truly thought that. Then here's the comment that I was referring to earlier.
Literally ridiculous. Viv stuck with us when she could have moved to Barca, and this is how we treat her. ACL injury or not, best striker we have ever seen by a mile, and we should stick by her. Thank you, Viv, and we will miss you.
But going back to Jonas and the discussion we were just having about Jonas, if he wanted to try to fight to keep her, he maybe could have. But there's also been a discussion with maybe he didn't want to keep her for whatever reason. Sara just came across this video. I'm not going to play the video, but I'm going to put a screenshot. And I mean, I'm sure people get the idea of what's going on too. It's on Twitter, so maybe I'll either link it, or if you search it on Twitter, I'm sure you'll find it. But
in the video, at first when I saw it, it looked like I thought he had like shoved her, but obviously he didn't. He just, whatever. He just gave her a pat on the back or whatever, maybe telling her to sit down or whatever. And then Viv is obviously not happy, not having it. She's heated. It's soccer, rightfully so. Kind of looks like they get into it a little bit.
Yeah, and this could be a bigger picture. I'm not quite sure when this video was from what game this video was from, because maybe they had problems between themselves. And we know, remember the video of Viv sticking up for Mana was on the team with her. Jonas saying, hey, putting her in at the 95th minute and giving her 1 minute at a time isn't right. So there's a history of her speaking her mind. Maybe Jonas didn't like that. Then also is like the conversation of Jonas didn't want her, Jonas didn't want her in the squad.
said, could a fallout between Jonas Edeval and Vivianne Miedema explain her departure?
Yeah, and that could be one piece of the pie. That could be the whole pie. And then there's another video of a reporter asking Jonas about Viv's contract before anything had come out or anything public, and they were asking him about contracts, specifically Viv. And in the video, he kind of is like some weirdly smiling, sinisterly smiling.
You and the sinister smiles.
Yeah.
What is up? Conspiracy theory much?
Yeah, like almost like, yeah, I know something you don't, kind of thing. Or that he just didn't want her. So that could be another reason why she did not come back. So at the beginning of the video, we were talking about maybe he didn't fight for her, but the opposite could have been true. He wanted her out. That she stood up for herself too much. Based on a couple of these videos, that is very possible. Yeah, so I think that's another aspect to it. Did Jonas actually want Viv out based on that sideline interaction? It would not surprise me. You know what I mean? Maybe Viv had, some type of difference of opinions with Jonas and Jonas didn't like it. Who knows? But I actually buy that.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's definitely another aspect of it. But overall, fans still just very unhappy with the whole situation. So many people loving messages. Maybe I'll play some in the background, but everyone is just saying, thank you, Viv. Thank you for everything you've done. The players, the fans, and that's the part that I don't want to get overshadowed by the people being upset, because people are really upset because they love her so much. And someone goes, I would love to know who was the person that decided not to offer Viv a new contract. Huge mistake. Yeah. I mean, the majority, other than people saying we love you, is how can they not even offer a contract? But then some people just say, players come and go. And that's the other side of it. As much as someone likes Viv, if players come and go, I'm going to read this comment.
Players come and go. That's the way of the game. Never get attached to them. It's just a job and they're professionals. The club will always remain bigger than any individual. Her 7 years chapter at Arsenal is over. We celebrate with her and wish her well. The Arsenal will continue.
Yeah, and that's kind of like you were saying earlier. It's a sport. It sucks. There's no real loyalty when it comes to sports and business.
But these people are our lives.
I know.
The fans stick around for the players. Mm-hmm.
If you don't have players, you don't have a team.
Exactly.
I don't see the comment here that I screenshot, but part of it, I guess it's here. It says extending her contract isn't the most viable option. Viv would be on a higher side of Arsenal earnings, and with her having played minimal games over the past 2 seasons through no fault of her own, she really isn't a valuable asset to the club anymore. Which that seems kind of a harsh statement, but maybe they're saying for Arsenal to look at their books, they know that Viv isn't financially makes sense. I mean, I'm just trying to understand their side. So that's what the fans are saying. Not happy. Overwhelming majority of fans not happy. But also, we're going to do another video on this. But, what does this mean for Viv and Beth? What does this mean? This doesn't really mean too much. I believe, they live together. That might change. Viv goes to another team. And so that might change. But, as we just saw over the weekend, Viv and Beth just posted some super cute pictures of the family. It was Viv, Beth, Miley, and Rona. They went to like a lake cabin in the woods. I believe it's in the UK, but they just had some family time, the 4 of them. And, now looking at those pictures, it probably was like kind of the calm before the storm. They knew what was going on and they just wanted some family time. Super cute pictures and said family time. So, they're as strong as ever.
Yeah, and especially if she's gonna be at Man City. I mean, that's pretty much there in London too, right?
It's a few hour drive, maybe a 3-hour drive. I'm actually not quite sure. I didn't Google map it. Yeah. But there isn't a lot we know about possible Man City. I'll kind of insert this here, but Man City, I reading from an article, Man City frontrunners to sign Vivianne Miedema as Arsenal decide against offering new contract. And Viv could do a lot of Man City. They could win Champions League. They're always hot. They're always a contender. And Viv could do a lot there. So it's actually kind of exciting to know she could go to Man City, not be too far away from Beth.
Yeah, and if she goes there, team's going to get hotter.
Yeah. Very true. But, we're going to talk about Viv and Beth in another episode, in another video of ours. But, I did mention this at the front of the video. I don't know if I cut it or not. Maybe I did. But I did, Beth was playing with DVD, and then DVD went to Lyon. Obviously, that's a different country. Obviously, that's a different league. But then she left, and for their relationship, because at that point they were in a relationship, it did not help their relationship. I do think that was a different circumstance because obviously DVD was in a different country, in a different league, so far away. You're not able to see your partner often if they're in a different league. But if Viv does go to Man City, she's going to be a few hour drive away. You know, they can get together a lot. And it would be an adjustment, but you know, Viv and Beth, I still think are endgame. So I don't think it changes much, but it is always a little strain on the relationship to not see each other every single day, all day, like I bet they have been for the last 2 years since they've been together. Or is it just 1 year? 2 years, yeah. I bet they've seen each other every single day, all day for the majority of the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's a hard that can be a hard adjustment on a relationship as well. So what does everyone think? Are you one of the people who are just absolutely crushed what the club is doing is wrong? Because I keep saying, maybe I don't know if I read any, basically, get rid of Jonas. Don't get rid of Viv. You know, there are so many people who don't like Jonas. And then some people are saying, you know, it's sport. Arsenal has to look at their books and say what it makes sense for them as a team. You know, some people think Arsenal's fallen off. So a lot of people are saying, they're making a lot of decisions, but not in the correct way. But to have Viv, the highest score in WSL history, I mean, that's pretty major.
Yeah, to get rid of someone like that is wild.
Yeah, and her not to be fully recovered also, you know. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. You know, Viv and Beth, you know, those pictures after reading what happened to Viv today, and I went back and looked at the pictures from their family time. I know. And things like this, I think you said at the beginning, just bring you closer to, you know, I don't think anything's happening with the relationship if Viv moves to a different WSL team. But these are the things I think can really strengthen relationships too, these harder times. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. And it will be weird seeing Viv if she does go to Man City in Man City blue. And then I heard a tiny possibility. I don't think this is going to happen, but the NWSL could offer her huge money and for her to go to the Courage. I actually heard that.
That would be jaw-dropping.
Yeah, it would. I don't think that's going to happen, but I did kind of hear a rumor about that.
That'd be iconic. Let's make it happen.
Questions, comments down below. What does everyone think? And yeah, we will be back soon. We were going to do a video about Katie and Caitlin because they kind of did more of a launch yesterday. That I thought that was going to be the video, but this news broke this morning and the Arsenal was none too happy. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.